technical issues. Obviously, new studio, new microphone, sponsored board behind. Everything's comfy. I'm going to track back here and I'll read a few of these out. We'll try and get comments up there. Andrew Smith says, good evening, Bernie. Good evening, Andrew. Nice to see you back and the best for the new season to you. I'd just like to take a couple of points. Oh, dear me. It's not the biggest writing. And the lights are, let's see. If I could get them up here, it'd be a lot better. But anyway, let's see. I'll backtrack. You put a lot of effort in it. I'm going over here, so bear with me. Andrew's put a long thing here. This talk of re-signing Chuba Akpom is a joke and a signing I'd welcome. All right, so the talk of re-signing Chuba Akpom is a joke and is not a signing I'd welcome, so he wouldn't welcome it. Yes, he was brilliant for us, but it's a huge gamble, and who's to say he can replicate what he did here a couple of seasons ago? If the rumours are true that we tried to re-sign him, is shocking and nothing but a case of lazy recruitment. I mentioned that last year. It's anyway, it's just about he's just about to sign for Ipswich. So Andrew, that's question number one. Akpom, I don't like players coming back. We had Janino 3 times. I wasn't a fan of that. It wasn't the same player. My mate Pally came back. Stewie Downing, who I love, came back. Colin Cooper came back. Giles last year, I was up in arms when he was returning. I called it lazy recruitment. He couldn't defend, and he was coming to a team that couldn't defend. For me, it was absolute ludicrous to bring back Giles, and he failed and he faltered. So for me, Akpom, I never thought he was coming here. No, the rumour mills, it's you get the local journalists, oh, Akpom's in the mix. Fans are, oh yeah, get Akpom back, he's the man. It was 2 years ago. Was it 2 years? At least a year and a half. Akpom did it. Just like Giles. It was 2 years when he done it. When he was here, he was brilliant as a wing back, Giles. Then he went to Luton, didn't do it under Rob Edwards. Then he went to Hull City, 2 bad teams, didn't do it, and yet we brought him here on loan. Never going to what? Was never going to make an impression, and he failed miserably, as did the club. You know, people talk about Ian Ashall last season. I don't blame him. I blame the recruitment. People try to put it on, oh, it's Carrick's man. Do I believe that? I don't believe that for a minute. Where would Carrick have seen him? Somebody must have put it in Carrick's head. Pre-season, so number 2, pre-season has for me just highlighted how short of numbers we are. Yes, the club has taken small steps to rectify this in signing Jones, Britton and Canty, but we still lack 5 players. The Borough fans were banging on about Silvera. This is the guy who we loaned, Portsmouth and Blackpool. That's what I says, Andrew, before I read your thing. Silvera, don't be putting him on a pedestal after 1 or 2 decent games against opposition in pre-season games. Maybe he's found his position, because I don't know his best position. As I mentioned, I don't know a few of the Borough players' best position, but 5 players I'd question where they'd actually play. Years ago, it used to be you buy tradesmen. We buy jacks of all trades, and they become master of none. And that's a problem. Yeah, it's all right being versatile, but you need to be good at one of them. What does this tell you? So the rumours flying round, we are trying to sign Danny Ings. What's your thoughts on him? I think if he stays fit, he would potentially do us a job for us. I know you cannot take pre-season too seriously, but surely getting into the winning mentality breeds confidence going into the new season. Without a doubt, I've mentioned that before I read your text, Andrew. Without a doubt, winning a game breeds confidence. We get into the new season against Swansea at the Riverside. The pressure's on from the off. New coach, 3 new players, not won a game, conceded every game. We need to. There's no room for error. This is not a dress rehearsal. We've did all that. This is a real deal now. But going back to Danny Ings, what do you think of Danny Ings? I think he's had a great career. What is he, 33? Great career. Bit injury prone. Never again for West Ham, even when the star boys were injured and the lad was, the accident, thankfully he's back, he still couldn't get in the team. I don't know why. Was he injured? Was he off form? Was he not doing it training? I don't know the reasons, but I cannot see him for the life of me playing 46 games a year. Now, God forbid, if Conway was to get injured Saturday, what do we do? What do we do? Who plays up front? I told you, we've only got one centre forward, proven, Conway, and one number 10, Azaz, who's injured. I don't know who else. There's a host of players can play number 10, but they're any good at it. And who can play up front? I know it sounds negative, but we have to be real here. We're going into the new season in 5 days' time. We cannot kid ourselves. Don't go in blind and full of kidology and bullshit and spin and think, oh, we're the kids. We're just going to turn up and we're going to rock up the Riverside and turn them over. It's not going to happen. Injuries. This is the biggest concern for me. I mentioned that. I've got 6 out come Saturday. 3 pre-season and the other 3 didn't play any pre-season. What on earth are we doing at this club? See, when the coaches and all that went in the summer, I questioned, what about these sports scientists? How are they still on a job? Why are they not getting booted out? They're the guys that monitors a player's movement and energy levels and fitness levels. What are they doing? You know, we've questioned players coming to this club and stealing a living. Well, what are they doing? Last year, we had 4 or 5 centre-halves injured. In my day, centre-halves used to injure you as a centre-forward, but we were falling like flies. So I don't know what's going on. So I would question, yeah, I agree. What on earth is going on? Someone must be asking the same questions. I've never known a club have so many injuries in training. We just get back. The likes of McGree, injured. Linehan, injured. Dieng, injured. I'm adding injured. He's just putting the names. And now they're out for weeks. Same for Azaz. We must be doing something fundamentally wrong in our process for there to be that many injuries. I agree with that. Bear with us. I know people's put messages in, but this guy's went into a lot of thought and obviously it's like a confessional box, isn't it? Edwards, he wasn't my choice. Well, I've mentioned my opinion of head coach to replace Carrick, but I'll give him 14 games. People say he talks a good game. Well, I think I could talk a good game too. Well, I sit here all the time and I think I talk a good game. It's about results, not what the coach says. I'll say this though, he seems to be a bit more engaging and honest than Carrick ever was. Let's hope this continues. As I say, I think he's a good talker, good communicator. He holds his cell well, he presents his cell well, he's got a bit of warmth. I think Carrick was fairly deadpan. That doesn't mean he's a bad guy, but in front of cameras, I don't think he was good. This guy is better, but as you say, it's not about talking in front of camera, it's about your team doing the business. You can say anything in front of the camera if you're winning. Hackney, so number 5. Hackney, rumours have it, he went to Ipswich and discussed a move but rejected. The Borough fans again jump for joy. I'm sorry, you're in cloud cuckoo land if you think Hackney will be staying at the club. We're a selling club, and if they can get 20 million for Hackney, he will be on his way. Make no mistake. Do I want to see him go? Of course not. But the club is being run as a business, and nobody in the Championship can turn that kind of money down. I think McCabe and Sonny Finch could be potential replacements, but they still a bit too inexperienced, but they defiantly are definitely the one for the future. Well, Sonny Finch I've had for 3-4 years, and I've still not really, I've seen him the odd game. Sprinklings, 20 minutes here and there. I couldn't tell you how good or bad he is. And why do we keep looking for forwards if he's the one? But going back to Hackney, if I was a businessman, which I'm not, I'm a fan, ex-player. If I was a businessman, I would cash in without a shadow of a doubt. Local lad, costs nothing, 15, 20 million, see you later. Hackney, I think he's a grounded kid. I think he's a very good kid. I still don't think he's anywhere near hit his potential. Scoring 4-5 last season, they were great goals, but didn't score enough. He needs to score more goals for me. He's classed as an attacking midfielder, not a holding midfielder, and he has to project that. He has to create more. He has to shoot more. He has to score more. Peter, last season, we're winding things up, saying Tottenham's in from Man United. Man United's been mentioned today. Oh, the big guns are in from the Premier League. Do I believe that? I don't believe that. I don't believe that. Well, there was only Ipswich who come in. Hackney, I take my hat off to Hackney. He could have jumped it. No doubt he'd get more money there, longer contract. But Ipswich, yeah, they're better than Middlesbrough because they were in the Premier League last season. They've come down. They've still got a lot of good players. They've sold some of the big hitters. But I don't think it's a great move for Hackney. You know, there was talk about Porto again, pie in the sky. I'd rather go to Porto where the sun shines and a better lifestyle and more money. And yes, as I say, it's Hackney's choice, but there's no money turning it down. And Hackney did, and they came off on Saturday, second half. If you've not seen it, you've probably heard about it. Late on in the game, Hackney dashes by, full of energy because he's off the bench. He's obviously frustrated. He's mind the all over the shop, and he danced by the defender, heading for the 18-yard box, opposing the 18-yard box. The guy's pulled him, and he just lashed out with his fist, and he's walloped him right in the chin. In a championship game, he'd be sent off. But I get his frustration. He's all over the place. Middlesbrough's agreed. I've not agreed. I'm in limbo. I don't know where I'm going. Should I stay? Should I go? If a team, he's all over the place. Happened to me when I talked about sending off or possibly sending off. When I went to Port Vale from Middlesbrough, I wasn't wanted. I was kicked out. They were putting pressure on. I didn't want to go, but I had to go. And my first game was against Leyton Orient away. And I'd never been sent off at Middlesbrough in 8 years. And I played the majority of games. And my first game I get sent off. Frustration. Didn't want to go or made to go. Didn't, yeah, so I get his frustration, but well, Hackney, of course. The goalkeeper situation concerns me. I think Bryn will get the nod to be number one. I think so, and I hope so. But he gets injured or suspended, we're done. I have absolutely no confidence in Glover. Glover's and numbers if he's on his way out the club. Dieng, I don't know what. Rumours were right last season, Dieng done this, done that, was in a bit whatever, then he was injured, and you don't know what to believe. I think if we get another 45 decent quality signings through the door, we will make the top 6. So this is Andrew, I think this will be finishing this. We stay as we are at present. I predict a long old season finishing mid-table. Anyway, up the Borough Bernie, keep up the good work. Keep saying as it is, or definitely do that, and not getting in bed with the club like the other journalists and podcasters. Oh, hey, look, full of them. Life's full of them. Middlesbrough's full of them. I don't watch any other podcasts or radio, listen to radio stations, but I know they're all in bed with the club. I'm in bed with nobody. I'm in bed with my missus. That's it. My dogs, my cats, my lions, my tigers, my dog. But yeah, I know what you're saying. People that entwined with the football club will not say anything negative, or it's propaganda, bullshit, spin, call it what you want. I've said it for years. It's a game of football. I love Middlesbrough. But I can criticise Middlesbrough because of my club. I played for the club. Nobody can question what I did there or what I didn't do. Was I loyal? Yes, I was loyal. Was I successful? Yes, I was successful. Do I know what it's like being a player? Yes, I do. All these half-tuppence people who are talking about things. I've never been in a dressing room, never been on a football park. They're tied up with big organisations that are in bed with every Tom, Dick and Harry. If you excuse the pun and the expression. Mohammed, how are you? Good to read, see you back on. Brother Joe Slavin, welcome back. Nice background. Hey, it's a better background. People that see me on here, great background, but we're trying to get it right. Hi, Bernie Joseph Slavin, welcome back. Nice background. Good signing in Britain. What good signing in Britain? Yeah, I thought you meant Britain. Yeah, that's a new signing, of course. What you make of Chuba Akpom, who is off to Ipswich? I wanted him back. Rob Edwards will be judge on results. I feel we need more signings. Sorry about sponsor board. We will get it sorted. Yeah, it's sort of the wrong way around. Look, it's a new studio. That's why we're trying it tonight and not next, 5 days' time. The real deal, the real thing. We'll be getting it right and everything will be hunky-dory. I say it's a bigger screen. I'll be able to hear me better with the microphones and it'll be grand. We definitely need more signings. As I say, who's a natural right winger in the squad? I don't know. Do you know? I don't know. You see, Whittaker that came from Plymouth or Guy would have spent 4 or 5 million. Dipped in and out last season, 1 or 2 pre-season games, people raving about him. Don't go overboard, calm down. Let's see the real deal. Does he play in the right? Foz, I keep hearing how good Foz is. I'm not a fan of Foz. I'll say it now. He's been here for 2.5 years. What's he done? People says last year, get him in, best striker at a club. And I would in return say, well, where have you seen him training? You must go to training sessions because I don't see it on a Saturday. And he's had his first share of injuries. We've got a team that don't. I know I'm reflecting back, and you shouldn't do it. You should always look forward. But I wasn't tough. I played with guys like Gary Hamilton, tough, strong, aggressive, injured, but played on, played through the pain barrier, would die for the club. Do you think modern players do that? Come on. I'm not just talking about Middlesbrough, I'm talking over the board here. The modern player won't die for a football club. What's happening with Danny Ings? Alan, is it Alan? Yeah. Alan, don't know, to be honest. Danny Ings was on the radar. He's been on the radar for a week or two. And I always thought if a club was doing business, i.e. our club, that we would do it quietly and go under the radar where nobody knows we're business. Today it was all over social media. Trevor Akpom, we're going for Akpom, we're hijacking Birmingham. And then all of a sudden out the blue, Ipswich have hijacked it and it looks as if he's going to Ipswich now. So, yeah, as I say, the best deals are the one that go under the radar. They turn around and say, welcome, we've signed so-and-so. These days, people kind of shut their mouths. Nothing has changed then. Sean Hackney the door, decided to go, still selling our best players before the ball's kicked. I think, Leslie, I think we just have to accept that. We are a selling club. I don't think the club's hidden that, have they? They sell in January, they sell in August. There are only 2 windows of opportunity. They're becoming windows of dread because we know we're going to lose the better players and get in, hopefully, players that's on the par, but 9 times out of 10 they've been inferior. I mean, the recruitment in January was a joke. It was a disgrace. But I say, we don't know this season. We're going to play a different brand for sure. Rob Edwards, by all accounts, knows the director of football. I'm not a big fan of that either. Why? Because it's like, as I say, these are my mates I'm talking about, but I've still got an opinion of my mates. Pallister came back twice. Janino came back 3 times. I was fan of both of them. Stewie Downing, I love Stewie Downing, came back twice. Colin Cooper, big fan of Coops. They all came back 2 or 3 times. Jonathan Wood get on the coaching role under 3 different coaches and managed, and Leo Perkovic the same, under 3 managers coaching, and now Carrick's gone, his brother's gone, Jonathan Woodgate's gone, Grant Littleborough stays behind. Why is that? Why is there one trailing behind? I'm always suspicious of that. I know Grant, lovely kid, lovely guy, great player for Middlesbrough, great ambassador, fairly quiet guy, but why is he still there? I thought you get rid of the lot. New heads, new ideas. But people always slinging about, no fan of that. And it's happened for many years at Middlesbrough. Not a fan. So where are we here? Kev Naylor says, now that Akpom deal is off, Wood likely to go for Gestead. Kev Naylor, I read it deliberately because he's obviously a comedian, this kid. But Kev always puts, if we fail to get a player, get Rudy Gestead back. Rudy Gestead, £6 million. He could hardly hit the main stand. Unbelievable. Steve Gibson needs to go. Said this for the last 10 years. Dave O'Connor. Hiya, Dave. Dave's got strong opinions. Dave's been going for many years. Massive fan. Goes to every game. I say, Dave, when I do hear that, I think, well, who would take Middlesbrough? Who would buy Middlesbrough? And then when I say that now to people, they'll say, well, how's Wrexham sold theirs? How's Birmingham sold theirs? Well, I don't know the answer. I mean, they've sold it to very wealthy people, but Steve Gibson, what he's done has been amazing at Middlesbrough Football Club. Hey, Steve Gibson, without Steve Gibson, it wouldn't be a football club. He was a young director when I was a player, when we hit the bad times, the really bad times. Then he became chairman, and he played his part in getting us the biggest names in Europe at the time. Ravanelli, Janino, we done it to go overall hat. We won the Carling Cup 2004 in Cardiff, European final. Done a lot of great, but people forget that as time goes on. You forget that, and that's the modern world. You forget the history. It's what we're doing right now, and right now, I don't think Steve Gibson's hidden the fact that, well, we've always been a selling club. Even before Steve Gibson was there. I know the history of the club. When Matt Proctor was there, David Hodgson, they were all getting punted. Spike Armstrong could dress them. They were all getting punted. Big Malcolm Allison was there. They were selling them under his nose, the board at the time. So Middlesbrough has always been a selling club. If you don't know that, delve into the history of the club you support. I always say that you should find out the history of your club. But yeah, we've always been a selling club. Just more evident now because of the social media, and everybody knows everything now. We're reading a paragraph on here or reading a paper or looking at the internet. Everybody's knowledgeable now. Well, I think they are. No ambition. So Mohammed saying no ambition from the club. McGree, unreliable. Bernie for Allen. McGree, yeah, he's unreliable. You know, the last couple of years he's been fit to go to Australia in the main and always seems to be injured at Middlesbrough. What is his issue? What is his problem? I sympathise. Look, it's something, I'm sure the lad doesn't want to be injured, but if you're not playing a lot of games, why am I not trying to punt him in the summer, get rid of him? He's injured pre-season, for God's sake. I never even heard of an injury. I never heard of anybody rat on him or going over the top. I never heard anything like that. In pre-season games, as I say, I only went to one. I'm not interested in pre-season. Load all junk. It's just kid-on games. Change 10 at a time. And as I say, it's for fitness and your breathing and your first touch and your new surroundings. No more than that. But it is always nice to win a game. I tell the story I've told over the years. I remember going to Sweden once with 86 team. Great group of lads, majority local lads. And we went there and there was a guy who scored about 8 goals. He played every game the following season, scored 1. So pre-season mean nothing. Gibson needs to go, Kevin. Is it stopped? Danny Ings deal has gone quiet. Yeah, it has, David Burns. It has. As I say, there's loads of people put stuff on to get. They're just baiting. They want clicks and people getting in. I don't believe anything until it's done and dusted. It's all pie in the sky. It's hypothetical. It's dreaming. We get into the new season with dreams, ambitions, and fantasies. We do it every year as fans, and this season's no different. Well, it might be a bit different because the 3 signings we've got are all defenders, and up front we're bare. Up front, I'm looking for 3-4 strikers at Middlesbrough, not one in Conway. There's no other striker. Don't tell me Foz is a striker. Don't tell me Big Berzog's a striker. Big Berzog's played more on the left. He's not front. Foz has played more on the right. As I say, I just don't get, you bring as many players as you want and jack of all trades, master of none. And I think that's what we're doing. We're overloaded defensively. 4 or 5 centre-backs. Well, 1 probably go. And up front, we've got 1. You win games by goal scorers. And I say, if Conway was to get injured, what do? We're gambling. I'm not a gambling man, so I don't know what it's like to gamble, but I see it. Chris Atherton says, 10 games will be in the bottom 3. Never get signings across the line. Conway, regardless of scoring 13 goals, is not a lead striker, not a player that will get 20 goals. Funny you say that, Chris. I was sitting with a couple of my former teammates last week, and we were talking about lack of strike force and lack of goal scorers, and that was one of the topics, saying Conway won't get 20 goals. Well, league goals. Don't forget, Cuba, who we were interested in, was the last guy to equal me, and that took the club 32 years to get a guy that got 20 league goals like myself. 32 years. Now, Conway in his second season, last season he got 13. People were raving about him. Did he get a young player of the year? And Hackney got player of the year. I didn't see that. I think he's an honest lad. I think he fancies himself. I think he probably puts himself up higher than he really is and better than he really is. Maybe that's cadology, but he's the best striker we've got. He's the only striker we've got. But he needs competition. Let's see how good he really is. When you see guys coming in. When I was at Middlesbrough, we brought in Paul Watkinson, we brought in Andy Payton, we brought in Ian Baird, we brought in Davenport. I was under pressure every time somebody came in, but I was confident. I used to say to the manager, you pick, not on transfer dealings, pick on ability and what we do in the park. Conway might not have that. I don't know. He's not been tested yet at Middlesbrough. Number 9 shot, everybody's bumming. Oh, he's number 9. How do you feel, number 9? Who gives a toss? It's no 9 you want in your back. It's goals, tallies you want in your back. So, but Conway is only forward we've got. He's last season 13 goals is okay. and a team that was top 6 for the majority drifted to 10th. It's not bad. Is it great? Does that player of the year, young player of the year? Was he no older than Hackney? Bonkers. I remember we were talking about it again the other day. Josh McEachran. Remember Josh McEachran? Came from Chelsea. People were raving about him. He's going to be a kiddie. He's going to come here, do the business, go back to Chelsea, be a wonder kid. I think he scored 1 goal and we gave him player of the season. I think he created one. And I've never seen him again. Never heard him again. Don't even know where he is. Disappeared into oblivion. Always slow starters, Bernie. I hope not this time. That's for Claire Bowder. Hiya, Claire. Andrew says, seems to me transfer plans are dependent on selling Vanderberg and probably Hackney too. Worry we'll not have a team in place until September. Andrew, I agree with that. My gut says that. I don't know if it's been said publicly. My gut is if we're going to wheel and deal. So if we get Vanderberg, Hackney out and get money in, we won't spend all of it, but we'll spend a bit of it to get players in. And we'll have to. But I don't think there'll be any more movement now. We've brought 3 in, 2 wing backs, or a centre-back, wing back, and a defensive midfielder. So not exactly, well, the wing backs are drilled for going forward, but the Canty, is it? I laugh at the name Canty. You know, in Glasgow, they use a word that seems similar to that. Evening, Bernie, for James Chapman. Hiya, James. Craig Chapman. All right, Bernie. Honest prediction on where we will finish this season. Craig Chapman, I'm not here to please. I'm not here to upset. I'm just here to give honest opinions. As it stands right now, mid-table. As it stands right now. 3 players in. If no more were to come in and we were to go through to December, January with this squad of players, mid-table. Last season I got it right. I sat on here. Not because I wanted to say it, because my gut was, I always go with my gut instinct. Last season I says in January, February, March, April, May, June, right till I says when Doak got injured that he wouldn't come back, and that was a massive blow. And Lucky Laugh went. That was then they were top 6 dream. And I got it right. And I says that Carrick would go. He didn't go for the first few weeks. My mates were going, I heard you saying that he was going to go, and he's not going anywhere. I says, time. He'll probably go. And he did go. So there's my honest opinion. Chris says, Bernie, where are we? Why can't we compete with the likes of Birmingham now? It's tragic. Well, Chris, we know why we can't. With Birmingham, they've got the big hitter, haven't they? The big American. He's got some cash by all accounts, and he seems to be spending it wisely, and he's got them going. Birmingham, I think Birmingham's going to be up there. It sounds going to be there. I think there's more than a few going to be clamouring for six places. Let's hope we're one of them. Dave Tweddle says, evening, Bernie, I'm going to use a term you always use, lazy recruitment. I've said that for a couple of years. From us this season, can't see us in the top 10. The thing is, many years ago, we didn't have the rights to football, but the recruitment would work all year and could bring them in any time. Now, the directors of football have only got 2 windows. So they've got a couple of months, beginning and end of season, to put in a shift and rope players in. But again, in defence of the directors of football, whoever they may be, or the country, when they go to the chief executive chairmans, they can be turned away. They can have the best eye for talent, but once they go, the top boys, the hierarchy, they can say, how much? See you later. Sling your hook. Here's to go back to the coach and say likewise. So it must be a tough job, being the director of football. But it's an even tougher job when you're coaching. You've not got a lot of say in it. Gary says, I think Rob Edwards' style of play will be more exciting for the fans. Not this tippy-tappy, happy around our defence, more press and winning the ball straight back. Gareth, I agree with that. I mean, I played in days when played against Wimbledon, like John Fastenau up front, Dennis Wise in the wing, he'd kick his granny, balls in the box, used to see in the mixer, blood everywhere, elbows everywhere. I didn't love that style, but I would even settle for that kind of style than the style last year, fanning about the back, boring the pants off the public. I mean, how many? I was at 3 games last, well, I was at every game, but 3-4 games last year, the fans started to boo sarcastically, or cheer rather. You know, they would get it left back, play to centre half, whee, whee, the right back in them, whee, and then we'd launch it and they'd all cheer sarcastically. So they had enough of that nonsense. But every team in every division, whether it's the Premier or the Fourth, everybody's trying to play this style. Pep's not getting away with it now. They've all found it out. You can't do it. And I tell you who does it. And I've got a couple of mates that support Rangers. Rangers do it. And I watched Rangers, I watched them in the European game. A lot of fanning about in the ball. Getting caught, lucky to get off the hook. I seen it against Middlesbrough. And then in Saturday, by all account, I heard Rangers fans, because I do read other comments to other teams, and they were saying that this messing about the back's no good, and they get to the last third and then they give it away. We don't even get that far. We were giving it away last season. So Rob Edwards, I'm sure he's heard all the stories, what's going on under Carrick. If he matched Carrick's first season, by God, it would be the right cap out, but I can't see him reaching those heights, if I'm honest. He's not got the players. Carrick's first season was amazing. Best football I've seen. Last season, poor. Amazing, awful, anyway, for Phil. Phil Bruce, sorry. He says Azaz. So he says amazing, awful, anyway. Azaz. Look, Azaz, was it last season, first 11 games? When he first came out, it was last season. First 11 games, never scored a goal. I was critical of the lad. He did dip in and out last season, but I tell you what he did do. He produced, i.e., scored goals. I think it was only two behind Conway. Check it out. 2 or 3, correct me if I'm wrong. 2 goals behind Conway, who everybody's raving about. He was the top creator, I think, in the division, not just at Middlesbrough. So for me, that's doing the business. And for me, he was the player of the year. Whether you like it or not, he was player of the year for producing. You get wingers going up the wing and hitting the first man time and time again, but he did the business. His stats tell you he contributed massively. And how he was not a player of the year, well, I don't know who voted for it. It must be on the old drink. Bernard Joseph Slavin, I know you back Gibson, but surely it's time to try and sell the club. But always this is for Dean Wilson, we're always penny pinching and miss out on so many players all the time. Where's all the money gone from our best sales, or from our best players, selling our best players that got sold time and time again? Well, Dean, I don't know the answer to that, but I always say I've never been good at maths or arithmetic. I don't know the financial structure of the football club. That's been brutally honest. I don't know. I only watch the football and comment on football. So I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Every year or two, you hear Steve Gibson, chairman, ploughing £1 million to keep Middlesbrough afloat. I don't know how true or untrue that is. That could be spin, propaganda, whatever, for the local rides and the local races. I don't know. But I do know that Steve Gibson went through what I went through as a young director. I was a player. And he will never want Middlesbrough to get in financial difficulties again. So I don't know. I don't know the answer. And I'm not defending Steve Gibson, but I'm not going to go at Steve Gibson, because what he's done with the club is amazing. I know as time goes on, he's down the ladder when it comes to these billionaires, the Saudis and whatever, that Newcastle and all over the country. But sometimes you think the grass is greener. Steve Gibson could sell up and we get some dodgy bloke in who does the club in and heads off. Many clubs does that happen to in this country? People come in. How's it? Is Evenki still in charge of the old chicken mob? Are they still in charge of Blackburn Rovers? I think they're, yeah. Tony Mowbray worked under them. So penny pinching. Yeah, Dean, look. Steve Gibson loves football. He's at the majority of games. He's a passionate guy. Do I think he's still got the hunger? Yes. Do I think he can keep up with the Joneses? No. Do I think anybody would want to buy the football club? Me personally, no, I don't. I might be totally wrong. But I don't see people queuing up, do you? Surely if I was a businessman and I wanted to put pressure on Steve Gibson and I was a billionaire, I'd think, I'm going to put this public, tell any of the press. You can feed it out, don't you? social network, get it out there. Puts Steve Gibson would have to come out and say something. I don't want to sell it. I've still got ambition, whatever. No, I don't see anybody. Look at Rice Singh, Hartlepool. Rice Singh cannot sell Hartlepool. If you can't sell Hartlepool, you're not going to sell Middlesbrough. Well, in a similar area. Yeah. I know we're in different leagues and all that, but again, good players want to go to the Midlands or London. Up here, I've said it for years. I love it here. That's why I live here. I always post things to promote the area. Not thinking it, but I'm promoting the area and projecting what a lovely place this is. But the rest of the country think this is arsehole of Britain, whether you like it or not. You need to wake up. You know, they put anybody up here, everybody up here, anything up here. They put Lions up here if they could get away with it. Keep them in London. But everything's up here. We're the arsehole of Britain, the North East. I don't think that, but that's what they think. They're never going to admit it, are they? That's what they think. And the big players and the better players cost money, and they want to live near an airport where they can jet off to see whatever, the business side or the wife or the family or the pals, or just for a bit of sunshine. Or they don't want to be here where there's 2 planes fly out of Teesside Airport every day. Brought no one in and trying to get players we let go. Akpom, this is for Dave Twiddle. I disagree with you. You want to get him back. Why sell him? You don't disagree with me. I didn't want Akpom back. I wouldn't bring Akpom back. Is that what you're saying? So brought no one in and trying to get a player as we let go Akpom. I disagree with if you want it or no, I think he's talking in general. Get him back, well, sell him. Look, I don't know how many times I've said this over the years on here. When a player leaves, he leaves because he's ambitious, so he wants to go to a better club, or what he perceives as a better club, and he wants more money and a bigger contract. So there's nothing wrong with that. But when they go, i.e. Giles, and it doesn't work out at Hull or Luton, and then he goes to Hull and it doesn't work out there, and then he comes up to Middlesbrough on loan. We're not a charity club. We're Middlesbrough Football Club. We should be proud. Don't keep roping in the same people. Last year it was all get Gibson back. Ben Gibson. Ben Gibson. He's drifted off the earth. Where's Ben Gibson? I don't even know where he is. You know, he went to Burnley. Sean Dykes didn't want him. Director of football at the time, don't know who he was. But like the rest of them, thinks, oh, we'll get him in. Sean Dykes has stretched his muscle and said, I'm not playing him. Doesn't play him, heads off, goes somewhere, ends up at Norwich. Half the player. I was a fan of Ben's. I think Ben's a great lad, but I'm being realistic. I didn't want Ben Gibson back. Janino back 3 times, didn't want back. Pallister, Cooper, Downing, all the guys that I love and adore and are pals with. I'm being honest. Recruitment. You've got a European network, maybe even a world network. Get it done. Stop fishing in the same pond, bringing out the same old cod. I can't think of worse fish. There's no worse fish, but so that's that one. And we've only got 10 minutes. I can't believe I've not even read any of these out. I'll read these out on Saturday, back after the game Saturday. Bernie Joseph Slavin, do you think? I thought you were going to say, do you think I'm sexy? Keith Watson says, Bernie Joseph Slavin, do you think George McCormack be getting game time this season? And what I heard did well pre-season. I don't know the answer, Keith. As I say, I'm being honest. I only seen one and a half pre-season games. I'm not into pre-season games. I wouldn't judge anybody with pre-season games. So I can't answer that. Good luck to McCormack, but I've been sitting here just bluffing it. You probably know more than me, Keith. You might have seen every pre-season game. Paul Gamble says, not a big believer in someone coming back at the club second time round, but always support them if they do. They left for a reason. Well, I mentioned that. It's ambition and money. Think we got the best out of Akpom anyway, plus 7 million, and he's 29. Might be excessive. One more striker, like a Latty Laugh and an attacking midfielder, should do up the borough. Yeah, but the thing is, Paul, we let Latty Laugh go and we brought in Ian Asho, if that's how you pronounce his name. It was like chalk and cheese, night and day. One was small, dynamic, fast, quick, work rate, aggressive, scored. Big Ian Asher come in. He thought he was on the beach. He was just plodding around, looked overweight. I don't blame the lad. I blame the recruitment. Who the blinking hell brought him in? The lad just, I seen his interview, he didn't even look as if he wanted to be here. He looked as if he was for another planet. What's going on, Bernie? Have we left it too late again to bring a striker in? Well, we haven't, Nathan, because the window's still there, but we have to get players out. Everybody's talking about it, and that's mad, but I don't know. I'm only surmising that we have to get players out to get other players in. And if Hackney doesn't go and Van der Berg doesn't go, my gut is they will go. But if they don't, then I don't think there'll be any more players in. Well, they will be on loan. But for me, loan players again, I say every season, you're building in sand. You bring loan players in. I says last season, while they were there, I says the kit would never come back in a million years. Ian Asher we didn't want. Giles we didn't want. None of them are coming back. So then you have to start again. You have to bring another boatload of people in. And if they're on loan, if they can toss it off, they're still getting paid. They can go back to the parent club. Would they put the body in a line for Middlesbrough Football Club? Loan players? I don't think so. No, I'm not a big fan of loans. I get it. You're paying a bit of the money and the parent club's paying the majority. I get that for the money point of view, but I'm a fan. I don't think loans is the way forward. And every year they go back. Bernie, I don't know why we put Engel out on loan. He's the best left-sided player we have. What's your view? Hey, Engel was as good as anybody. Hey, I look at Dick Steele. I've kept it Ayling. I'll be honest. I thought Ayling had a 1-year contract. I thought he'd gone. I see Howson going. I thought Ayling, and then I got to Glasgow and the team, and I looked, and Ayling's running out and on the right side. Ayling's a great professional. I'm not him, but he's a fair age, and his knees don't work the way they used to, and he can't get back because he's not got any pace. I know we've signed a new lad, so he'll probably play there, and Ayling will play second fiddle. But yeah, I question Ayling. And Howson goes, well, it might be more than meets the eye. Maybe there's reasons that we don't know. It's not in the public domain. But good luck to Johnny Howson. Great professional. I want to read these. Sorry for good lighting, Bernie. Where you've been, B&Q away. Chris, B&Q don't sell these lights. Just joking, aren't you? On a serious front, well, I said it on the day, but I'll say it again. Sadly, Middlesbrough lost one of the greats, Alan Peacock. Alan was one of Borough's greatest ever strikers. There's only 10 in the club's 150-year history. Scored 100 goals or more, and Alan was one of them. Alan was a Borough lad. He was a great guy, smartly dressed, right to the bitter end, well-groomed, no edge, no ego, Borough hero. So, sadly, he passed away, and I went along, Pallister, John Henry, Jim Platt, John Craggs, Matt Proctor. There was probably other ones I didn't see. And it was so busy and he was so well received that we had to stand outside, with the speakers outside, and we could hear everything that was going on. And it was a lovely ceremony. Would you say ceremony? But Alan will be a big loss, and great guy. As I say, great player. Played with Cloughie. Alan scored 141. Between them, has scored like 300 and odd. Amazing. No, those days are over, of course. This season on here, I've decided to give away the end of every month, so everybody gets involved. They'll get their names at the end of the month, put them in the hat. Where's my hat? Oh, I've got my hat somewhere. Here's my hat. Look, I had on at the Oasis concert. What was the park called? Oh, I can't remember. It was in Manchester a couple of weeks ago. Anyway, Heaton Park. 80,000. I was one of them, soaking wet, sweating like a bull, sore throat, surrounded by alcoholics and whatever. No, wasn't it? They were all, everybody looked after each other. There was no nonsense. But they'll go in the hat end of the month. Somebody gave me this T-shirt. This is going to be the first prize for this month, right? That there. Yeah. Myself on the fence. That's celebrating 40 years. The years at the bottom. Hallgate Hero, number 7 in the back. Now, listen. If you don't like me, you're just watching by chance, a fluke, and you think, I don't want that, you can use it as a duster. or clean the car window, or throw it in the fire, or take it in the charity shop. So that's the first thing up. And down the line, there'll be other things. There'll be George Hardwick book. So at the end of every month, I'll try and, well, I will. You can win that. Or Stan Anderson, the only Middlesbrough player that captained all 3 North East teams. Lovely man. Met him during my Borough TV years. Went to wherever he lived, the Midlands. Lovely man. And obviously that everybody's seen that. Anyway, so that's that. The other thing, yeah, people still text me and private message me. They do. I'm 40 years in Teesside come October the 30th. It's at the Town Hall, Middlesbrough Town Hall. Host of Borough greats are going to turn up, guys like Bruce Rea, Tony Mowbray, Pallister, Ian Baird, Stu Downing, David Wheater, Craig Hignett, John. I could go on. Steve Gibson. And I've asked them all personally. So if they don't come, I've asked them personally. So, but I'm sure the majority will be there. There's only in the main balcony tickets left. So if you're interested, and only go with 3 people because I don't want you scammed. I've been scammed before. I love music and concerts and going to see bands. I've been scammed a couple of times. So just be careful of scammers because they're full of them. Town Hall number, you can go via the Town Hall, is 01642, obviously Middlesbrough, 729729. So that's if you want balcony tickets, that's the number. Or you can dial 07368 870 120, or you can email 7enterprises@hotmail.co.uk. So that's it. So there's something to be won at the end of every month. That's the thing for the Town Hall if you want to be part of it. It'll be a night of nostalgia. There'll be fun. I'm getting Chris McGlade. I was with Chris today. If you don't know Chris McGlade, check him out in your YouTubes. He's funny. He's some people, well, he's certainly not PC. So if you're PC, don't take a heart attack or take depression. Just don't watch it. But if you like a bit of fun and you're up for it and you're not offended, watch Chris McGlade. Very, very funny man. And can I just say regarding Chris, as a tribute to Alan Peacock, who I was a massive fan of and knew very well, I interviewed Alan, God rest him, a few years ago. And I brought a book out, Borough's Greatest Strikers. He's in it, of course. And I lost I've got all the words in, but I lost the CD that had his voice. So I've got Chris, who is an actor stroke comedian, very good talker, Borough accent, and he is coming across as Alan and goes word for word through whatever Alan says, and some of it is really funny. That'll be up next Monday on Total BS podcast. I'll read a few of these and then is that it? Yeah, I have to look at the gaffer there. Bernie, come back, commentary. We miss you saying how it is. Ben, I was talking about commentaries today to somebody was talking to me about commentaries. The days, me and Ali, I don't care who's got the commentary, who's not got the commentary. Me and Ali at Middlesbrough were the perfect foil. Ali was Mr. Middlesbrough, and I was an ex-Middlesbrough player with an opinion. And it worked a treat. And the figures were unbelievable. The guys who do now, if they still do, I don't even know. I never listen. If anybody does it now, it's half hog. They can't say what they really want to say. They'll be banned and rip the contract up. And yeah, so yeah, it's never going to happen. Hey, I should have went with Ali, surely. Bernie, how many signings do you think we need, bearing in mind the finances? Do you think the next few signings, this is for James Chapman, can hardly reach it to press it, are going to be, do I think the next few signings are going to be loans? If we don't sell Hackney or Van der Berg, I think there'll be loans. I don't think we'll sign anybody. As I say, I don't know. I'm not privy. I would never, even if I knew everybody at the football club, I know a lot, but I don't know everybody. But I would never quiz anybody. That's private. That's their business. I can only speculate, like you as a fan. I'm a fan. But I would think if we don't, nobody else goes through the door, I think there'll be loan players in. And probably players that we've never heard of. Even in Bernie Philip Ryder hire, Ed Morris Hackney not going. Well, he's not going yet. I remember Gordon Strachan. It was a prime example of coaches, stroke managers at the time. Adam Johnson, dare I say it. Adam Johnson's going nowhere. Strachan went on the public arena, locally, nationally. Adam Johnson's going nowhere. Next day he was gone. Puff of smoke, disappeared, Man City. Where's the proven goal scorer, Bernie? Been saying we need one for ages. Championship is about scoring goals, goals, goals. No one even on the radar, man. Ben Hunt, well, there's a couple on the radar, wasn't there? There was Danny Ings and Chuba Akpom, but I think that's, I've used the word a few times tonight. It's because I keep seeing my mate eating pies. He's a big lad, pie in the sky. It's just a load of old. But I don't want to swear, you know what I mean? I'm trying to be fair because it's the first one batting. If you had 3 positions you think we need now, Bernie, what are they? I think we need more than 3. Well, Dave, right winger, we've still not got an actual right winger. So Vera at the minute pre-season has been good, but we've not got an actual left winger. We're gambling. We're trying to find out if they can fit the positions. On the right, we've not got an actual right winger. The only natural right winger was Doak. Obviously, Jones, he left. He was right. He did well. Turbulent, but did well. Doak, which showed you what a winger is all about. On the left, we've played McGree, who I still don't know. I'd love to see him number 10 when he's fit. But McGree on the left, we've played Bazog on the left. Hamilton's played wide as well. He went away. He's back. I've missed out Hamilton. He's there as well. He's another boy that's flopped. Went to a lesser team. No, done it. He's back. So where are we here? So yeah, Dave, I would want about 4 or 5. I'd want I'd want 3 centre forwards. Why have we got 5 centre backs and 1 striker? I want 5 centre forwards and 3 centre backs. Why have we not got a striker? And this is somebody else. It's Richard Butcher. I'm vegan, man. You can't come on my name like Butcher. No, I'm joking, Richard. Why have we not got a striker in? We knew we needed one in January, as we only recruited loans. That's what I'm saying, Richard. It's not as if it just comes as a surprise. Oh, the window's open, the window of opportunity is open. We know it's coming, so we need to prepare and delve in. We were told they would. And it's quite clear that the recruitment has huffed and puffed and struggled. Because there's the guy in charge. Don't let them get away with it. They're the guys in charge. It's not the coach. It's the recruitment team. Chris says, would you stick with Sammy Silvera? He's been a surprise package in pre-season. Well, Chris, that's what I'm saying. I watched a game and a half, and Silvera stuck out like that. Saturday, they're beating the 4 men to the halfway line, up the left, laid it in the plate. Your granny could have scored it. Conway touched it over with his toenail. Great bit of play. But can he do it when the big crowd's in? You know, home and away. Can he do it? Can he do it in the winter? He's been here over 2 years. He's not set the header alight. He's not stamped his authority. He's not looked apart. So I don't know the answer to that. Don't forget Chuba Akpom. First season nightmare. We'd all written him off, came back, went away again. Thinking, garbage. I remember interviewing Chuba, and I told him that to his face. I had written you off along with loads of other people. And then all of a sudden, the dynamics of the team changed. Michael Carrick got wing backs, i.e. Giles, who was the biggest provider then when he was in top form. And with Ramsey and Archer and Akpom all getting in the box with pace and breaking their necks to get in there. And we were scoring goals for fun. But Silvera, not get too carried away. I don't know. He might be, but he might not be. And if he's not, who plays in the left? Because I don't think McGree's a natural left winger. I don't think none of them's natural left. And on the right, we've signed Whittaker for about 4 or 5 million. People raised about him after 2 games recently. Let's see if he does it. He never done it last year, but I'll give him bedding in time. As I say, I took a year to bed in Middlesbrough. Dear me, what a shock. What a shock, but it's been that much of a shock. I'm still here. Rob Edwards and Scott, if it goes bad, both will pay the price. Mohammed, no, I don't think that's true, Mohammed. It should be true, but directors of football seem to get off the hook time and time again. Saying that, the Everton director of football gets sacked, and I think the West Ham one gets sacked. I'm not here to say get anybody sacked, but if your coach gets sacked, for me, the lot of them should be shipped out. You'll go with them because you've all played a part, and a massive part. I keep saying it, and some people still don't get it. Director of football, along with the chief exec and chairman, all clubs up and down the country, they take a wee bit of the coach and get a wee bit off the coach, but they have to please the 2 top guys. And then they give whoever they bring in to the coach, and the coach picks the team, and obviously picks the players and trains them. But he doesn't necessarily pick who's coming in, who's going out. And don't forget, I know guys in the modern game right now who have been the coach. I know what it's all about. Listen to Tony Mowbray. I interviewed Tony Mowbray not so long ago in his house. Look on. And listen to Mugger talking about the director of football Sunderland. That's what they all do. That's what they're trained to do. They're not there to please. They're there to please the top boys more than the coach. They want to help the coach, but they need to sing with the top boys first. Right, I'll read. Let's see. Oh, we're over. Right. Only the top 6 in the Premiership ain't a selling club. Colin Wilson, I agree. As I say, we just have to accept we're Middlesbrough. We're a selling club. We always have been. Some people have just made out as if it just happens now. We've always been a selling club. But when the only thing that gets me going is in January. We're sitting pretty. We're doing well. We look as if we can finish that top 6, and then we sell our best players. Sunderland did it right. Sunderland got it bang on. They sold the better player in the summer. They didn't sell him in January. They thought, we want to try with Damas get in the playoffs, which they achieved. We want to try with Damas to get into the Premier League, which they've achieved. And then they sold the better players. Now, I would like Middlesbrough to do that. Because every time you do it in January, you're holding up your hands or surrender, we ain't making it, or we don't want to make it. That's what it looks like. That's what it looks like. Why can you not wait another 4 months and then sell them? And I sometimes think, is it Casey get injured, Casey go off form, the valuation will drop? But it might be, but everything's a gamble. We brought Hackney on last 20 minutes on Saturday. He could go off there, 20 million or 15 million floating about. Middlesbrough's agreed, Ipswich's agreed, Hackney's not agreed. He's thrown in there. Somebody could have topped him. He could have been out for 2 years. Money down the River Tees. But they played him. So I don't get why they like say sell in January, although he's quadrupling his money like a laugh at a time. I get the business side, of course I get it. I would do the same in a suit on. I'm a fan. It's just a surrender that we ain't going anywhere when you sell star players in January. And I hope the new guy Edwards has got the guts, the gumption and the balls to say to the top boys and director of football, give us a chance here. If I'm doing well and I'm in around the 6 come January, please don't sell anybody. Give me at the end of the season, then do your bit. But you know what? I don't think you will. Anyway, listen, I'm sorry I've not read any of these. I apologise profusely. I'm back Saturday game. Yeah, it'll be earlier. So I'm starting earlier this season. We'll say 6:30 to 7:30 every Saturday. And then midweek, if it's too late a game, it's a home. If it's a away game, we'll do them from 10 to 11. If it's a home game, then I don't get back too late. We'll do it the following night. Yeah. So thanks for listening. I hope to get this set up because it's better than what it looks here. That these need changed round, and it's a lovely room, lovely lighting. And thanks to the people that set it up. And thanks for listening. And yeah, let's hope. Look, at the minute, we're not raving about Middlesbrough because of the business we've done so far. It could change overnight. I don't think it will, but it could change overnight. So we've still got 5 days to go, but it's not ideal preparation. The same old habits, the same traits in the pre-season games that really mean nothing, but the same traits are there. There's injuries galore. We're letting goals and we can't keep a clean sheet. They're similar traits we've had last season. We want rid of those traits. And as I say, Saturday is not a dress rehearsal. We've had that. This is a real deal Saturday. And there's no room for error. 1-0, hitting somebody's backside, deflection, anything. Won the game. Paramount. Up the border. Cheers. Enjoy Saturday. Talk to you Saturday.